Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We're in Studio 22 here at Mercury One Studios. We are hanging out again. Got Bougie Sean over there with director Mark. I know you guys have missed him. He's in the puppet seat over there. Look at him. He looks like a little puppet. Like, like you look like you have a pet on your shoulder, Mark. I love that. That's great. And then over in the peanut gallery, of course, we have the ever-present party foul Steve. And yes, my lovely wife, Jade. Now to the main stage, Jade to the main stage. Oh, God bless you. Say hello to the people, folks. Y'all.
Hey, guys.
Yo, Steve's
Speak.
Yeah.
Do we have to press the
It's
button?
on. It's ready. Go. Look.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there's
Hi,
a
guys.
microphone above their heads. Yeah, for those
Well,
of
we're
you who
getting
don't
used
know.
to it. It's like a game show. We have to press a button in order to speak.
Yeah, you got to buzz in.
We have to buzz in.
You got to buzz in from the
So
peanut
if you need
gallery.
to call a friend or anything, just let us know.
That's probably going to need to happen.
So we have my friend Natalie Woods Stanyer.
Yes.
And thank you for coming in, hanging out. I'm so glad that you're here.
I'm glad that you're having me here. I'm so excited to be here.
I have things to talk to you about.
I heard.
I know. Do you keep up with the news a lot? I mean, are you like a current events kind of person? Are you always?
I try to.
Yeah.
Don't put me on the spot, but my background is news. I was a reporter for ABC in Austin at KVUE.
Right.
And before that, I interned at Channel 8 here in Dallas at WFAA for the investigative reporter team.
Oh.
So,
Right
yes. Actually, the guy that I was he was my mentor was Brett Shipp.
Oh yeah, Brett Shipp. Okay.
You know Brett?
Yeah, I know who Brett
Yes,
Shipp
he's
is.
like, you got to support me.
We had an interesting little back and forth with Brett Shipp back when our
bet you
guys at
did.
Rednecks with Paychecks, and they
So
were doing.
have I.
Yeah,
But you know what? He taught me so much. He's a super nice guy.
sure.
We don't vote the same way, but
No, no.
He
I
knows
imagine
that.
you don't vote the same way. Investigative, but I mean, I imagine with that kind of stuff, you see a lot of stuff. I mean, there's got to be some crazy stories that are out there.
You
You're
do.
out there digging and finding the worst
do.
in people.
yeah, well, the truth.
Yeah. Oh, the media and the truth. I like
Right.
that's a topic we'll
Right.
get
Well,
to another time.
it was
Yeah.
for me.
Sure.
You know, I tried not to make stories out of stories that weren't stories.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just for
It's a lot of stories.
it might be why I'm not in the news anymore. They're like exit stage left. No,
You got to learn how to lie better.
I know, right?
It's terrible. Have you paid attention to so John Hickenlooper has now announced that he's running for president on the Democratic ticket. So that's, I think, number 14
Mm-hmm.
that the left is pulled. I mean, John Hickenlooper. I mean, John Jingle, Heimer, Schmidt, Hickenlooper. I mean, I'm so excited to know that John Hickenlooper is now running. Bougie Sean, this is your party. You're a liberal. This is your problem.
I'm not a liberal. Holy cow.
You just look liberal.
You know what's funny? Somebody at CPAC said that to me. She looked at me, she looked at my hair, she goes, I'm assuming that you're liberal because of your hair.
That's racist.
I wish I would recorded it because I wanted to say something really nice to her.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I'm liberal. Yeah, just shut up.
Yeah.
Did you
Stupid.
cock your head like that?
I did turn to, I'm a little bougie, so I turned to the side. I was like, yes.
You went chicken neck on him?
I went chicken
You
neck.
should have put your
No.
vagina hat on.
What are we talking about, Party 5? I'm not going
That.
chicken neck. What are we doing over here?
Chicken neck.
Steve. That's the Steve. Get a little attitude, you know. Steve calls that chicken neck. Yeah.
That's
Bougie.
chicken neck.
What I do know is that I see a lot of ramping up to see what the Liberal Party is going to do to attempt to beat Trump.
Oh yeah, and that's their main platform. That's the
is.
whole deal. It's just we got to beat Trump. Orange man bad. That's the whole deal.
Orange-
And Ocasio-Cortez. So I came up. We were at CPAC, Conservative Political Action Conference last week. And we're going to get to you in a minute, I promise. Natalie.
Oh, it's fine.
But I got to fill people in because we had the best time in D.C. I had a $750 bar bill Thursday night at the Trump Hotel, and I figured, hey, I'm at the Trump. I need to spend the bills like Trump. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Sorry about
Live
that.
like
yeah,
Trump.
you're welcome, Steve Powell and Sean. And
Oops.
I didn't drink.
you didn't drink. You never drink. You're not drinking now, are you?
No, I'm not drinking at all.
So anyway, we were up there, and I came up with a couple of little references to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who this girl's dumber than a bag of hammers. And Sean loves her, though. He thinks she's cute.
I mean, I don't
can I
love
put
her.
you
I
out
love
there
my-
like that?
I love my wife. I don't love
Yeah.
her.
This
She's
girl's
cute.
got her tooth to gum ratio is bad. It's like she's got knuckles in her gums. I mean, it's like she can crack her teeth. I mean, this chick, bug-eyed, but we're not here to pick on women for
Now
what
you've
they
gone
look
Trump.
like. I know. Now we've gone all Trump. And I'm not
2020.
running for anything, so I don't care. But she's like a yellow belt in karate that you're not threatened by her, but as soon as you take your eyes off of her, she's going to kick you in the nads, and then it's game over. And that's why you got to watch this chick. But I noticed there was a news article that came out where she spent almost $30,000 in Uber rides while she was campaigning. And the 7 train there in Brooklyn, in the Bronx.
Queens.
In Queens.
Yeah.
In Queens was 138 feet from her office.
Mm-hmm.
And so she didn't take the train. So here's a woman who wants to ban all fossil fuels
Farts.
and cow farts. And but somewhere today, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is using fossil fuels. She is like a fat nutritionist, someone who wants to tell you what you should do but won't do it herself.
Maybe all her Ubers were Prius.
I don't think so.
Definitely not.
$29,000 in Uber receipts.
Yeah, they
That's
said
a
it
lot of gas.
was between her and her staff from May 2017 to December 2018.
Yeah.
Which is
Anyway,
a lot
She's
of Uber
not
rides.
paying for it.
No, she's paying her staff.
Yeah,
She's the
taxpayer
boss.
dollars. But
Remember,
coming
she's
out of
the
her
boss,
pocket.
so she's not paying for it. She's the one in charge.
you give socialists a whiff of power, dude, and they'll remind you they're in power.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about all that stuff. I'm sad that Dylan McKay died. Luke Perry.
I know.
Wasn't that his name on 90210?
Well, he died
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, at least it was announced yesterday.
Yeah,
That's
sad.
that's heartbreaking.
After having a
I grew
massive
up-
stroke.
Crushing on him.
We all
And-
did.
Well, yeah, you did. And Brandon Walsh.
Yeah.
Brendan
Walsh.
Brendan Walsh.
Oh, Jada tell you.
Brenda and Brandon. I thought that's
Jade
what it
had
was.
the poster.
You did. Autographed.
No.
They
It was
were
not
they
autographed.
were coming back with a new, they were revamping and
They
going
are-
back to 90210 with, I think, a lot of the original cast.
With a lot he had not signed on yet, according to
Well,
sources.
probably a good thing now. So they were going to show how the kids aged in Beverly Hills, and apparently some of them didn't make it. That's sad. It is.
is
It's
sad.
a sad deal because that's kind of a generation. That's an image of a generation. So and I appreciated, his portrayal of Lane Frost in 8
Yes.
Seconds, and a lot of folks in the Western world. He's always been very, very friendly and very, very supportive of the Western world with the rodeos and the PBR and things like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
Natalie.
Yes, sir.
My favorite Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
You're just saying that.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. Anybody that has watched, what is the name of the show on? It's where they're selecting the cheerleader. Give me the name
Yeah.
of the show.
It's called Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team.
Making the team.
Mm-hmm.
Making the team. I was always watching it not for the title.
You
know what I
weren't?
mean? No, I was trying to see
For the
who was-
articles?
I just wanted to see. Yeah, I watched the show for the articles. I wanted to see the leg kicks and whose pom poms are going to make the team.
Yeah.
You were a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
I was.
I love joking around with you about that because it's almost cliche in the sense, and not a disrespectful way, because what little girl doesn't dream of one day becoming the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? Nobody ever says I want to be a cheerleader with the San Diego Chargers. No one. No one does that. No one wants to be a Washington Redskins cheerleader. But when I was a kid, I had oh, here we go. Bougie Sean's got a comment on that. Anytime Bougie grabs the microphone.
That's the move, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to
Comes
be a
some
Dallas
wisdom.
Stars ice girl growing up.
I will say this. We went to the Predators game in Nashville.
Those weren't attractive.
No, the Dallas Stars definitely have them beat.
Oh, by
in a big way.
a long
Everything's
shot.
better in Texas.
I agree.
Bigger and better in Texas. So at what point in time did you say, I want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? At what point did it go from being, this is something I want to do, to a reality?
Yeah, that was always a dream of mine. They were the first out of the pocket. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders were the first.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tex Schramm. And they became such a hit by one wink at a game that they had a little bit of dead air during a Cowboys game, and they just happened to hit a shot of a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and she winked at the camera, and that was it. You love her. I know. I love her. And that changed the course, I think, for that organization immediately.
Yeah.
And you saw them at everything. The Love Boat, SNL, they were on everything. And they came out with a show. I'm sorry, a made-for-television movie. And I watched it, and I saw that uniform, and I saw that dream became, that was my dream, was to always become a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And I didn't try out until I was in my 30s.
Wow.
because I was just kind of career focused and trying to become an independent woman. And they had the show, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team, then became a reality show. And I happened to catch it. And I already had my career in place and just kind of living life. And I was like, there is one goal I never shot for.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm going to try out. And there was another girl that was currently on the squad that was my age. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. I mean, I can at least try out.
Yeah.
And so that's what drove me to, I would like to call the most rewarding nightmare I've ever been through. Because making the team it is tough.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Give me a minute, though, because I want to refer back. I had, when I was a kid, growing up in the 70s, the early 80s, I had the calendar
Yes.
on the wall, because we were Cowboys fans our whole life. We were the guy. And I'm saying all of this stuff with my wife sitting right over there in the peanut gallery. So y'all can shut up. Don't give me those looks. And listen.
We still have the calendars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I grew up a Cowboys fan. The night I was born, and I told this story to Roger Staubach last year, and Roger did not play in the 1972 season because he had gotten a preseason shoulder injury, and so he was out. But they were playing the Washington Redskins, and it was the playoffs, and they had to go into overtime. We were in New Jersey at the time, and my mother went into labor with me. My father wouldn't take her to the hospital because he just didn't believe she was in labor, and he wanted to watch him in overtime. And so I almost wasn't born. I almost wasn't born because of the Dallas Cowboys. And so here I am today, fortunately. They got there. But no, I've all my life been a Cowboys fan.
Well, and I was actually, I'm from Conroe.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Houston Oilers fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always a Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders fan.
Yeah.
Love you, Blue. But I did love them. They never went to the Super Bowl, but
No.
but I loved them. But when they left in the 90s, like maybe 94,
Yeah.
I don't remember. But when they left, then I became a Dallas Cowboys fan. But for me, it's always been Texas. I'm not a Texans hater. Houston's Texans.
No,
I mean,
me
Cowboys
either.
are better.
I like
but-
J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson.
Yes,
those guys,
but
yeah.
the Cowboys, that's it for me.
Yeah, well, it always will be. And you talk about Tex Schramm, and then now you got Jerry Jones, and Jerry has still. You go over to Jerry World, AT&T Stadium, and I mean they built that thing even when they were 2-16 or whatever their couple seasons ago. You still couldn't get a seat in that place.
No,
because they built a culture, and the cheerleaders are part of the culture that they built. Mm-hmm. And that's been one of the things that people have always looked to, and they've identified that as, America's team and all that. And the cheerleaders have always been a part. And you go to an event at AT&T Stadium, and anybody that's never been in there, you really need to come and you need to look, because Jerry put turrets up in the sky where girls
beautiful.
can dance on and all this stuff. I'm like, Jerry just built the club.
And his wife actually played a huge part in that as well, along with the art that he has in that stadium.
Yeah.
They put their passion into that stadium and their money.
Yeah, they did. They put a lot of.
It's not cheap, but boy, they did it right.
Yeah, they did. And I have done several events. In fact, I did one charity event a couple of months ago, and I stayed at the hotel that had the cheerleaders' bus. I mean, they got their bus out there, right outside they were staying in the same hotel, and so I was like, I'm just hanging out with the cheerleaders. Actually, I was looking out my window at their bus, but then we did an event that night, and the girls were so gracious.
Kind.
They came out and they did what they do, and it's not a yes. There's the element of sex appeal to it, and all of that, but there's a cause there. And they really give and they contribute and they're such gracious. Because I know that the idea is to look at something and go, oh, it's cheerleaders. No, these are smart, educated. As you said, you were accomplished and in your career and things like that. But
I think that's a common misconception. And being on that reality show, being on the receiving end of, comments from, online while you're going through the process. One thing that I think people don't realize is that these women are true athletes who are at the top of their game, and probably I know many of them were in the top of their class when they graduated. They're either at their university studying. There's one who actually, she just retired and she's in med school right now. They're at the top of their game, whether it, be in professional dance or the medical field, what have you. They're focused. There's not a lot of time for drama. You never really hear about drama on that team.
Right.
Not that there isn't. I mean, we've got 36 of the most beautiful women in Texas in a locker room, but they keep it. I mean, it's to a minimum. There's
Cat
just
fight? Was there ever any cat fights?
no. There's no.
claws
There's
come
no
out
time for
in
that.
the locker room.
I think everybody. There's just a
No hair pulling.
common respect and fear for that director and choreographer.
I hate that Natalie just came on here and killed our dreams. She's a destroyer.
Well, you can think what you want. I've,
Destroyer.
you know,
I-
Then
and I
one
do.
pillow fight.
one pillow fight. Right. That's the after party.
There's
There,
Jade's over here muting me. That's not fair.
Don't let Jade touch the
I think
microphone
we need
button.
not touch it. Period. Just leave it on.
Yeah. Jade, don't let Jade touch the microphone.
they work
I'm
hard
myself.
for
Yeah.
what they go through to make that team, and then to continue earning their spot on that team. It's tough.
So let's go back to the show because
Yeah.
these gals, and when I say these gals, I'm talking about the ones who are doing the picking and the choosing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tough. Mm-hmm. They're hardcore.
And you're talking about the judges,
Yeah.
and you were just with Neil McCoy.
Yeah.
Right. He's a judge as well.
Yeah.
He helped me make the squad way back when.
Really?
When I made, yes, he was still a judge. So
So the event that I did recently was with Neil, where
Mm-hmm.
the girls came out and we're part of his East Texas Angels network,
Yes.
and we go out there and do that in Longview, Texas, every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I didn't know Neil was a judge.
yes, he
Why is
loves
he
it.
holding out on me?
It's a tough job for him. I'm sure.
How does someone get that job?
Wait, can I be a judge?
So they go.
Hell.
I can be biased because I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan.
You
so
mean
I
you can be
go,
unbiased?
Giants fan. Well, good luck.
I
there.
can do
Bougie
that.
Sean, just he's tossing hand grenades over there,
I
talking
know.
about being Giants fan.
Well,
Sorry.
What a
so
douche.
he's a they go on the USO tours together.
Right.
And I think I'm guessing that's where.
So now
the
you're telling me
original-
that Neil McCoy's going overseas with these girls?
Yes, correct. And security.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders in Okinawa, Japan.
Yes.
And security. I like the way you slid
1993.
The security is to keep Neil
Yeah.
off the cheerleaders.
You know how much Neil loves himself? Neil loves him some Neil. I was just texting Neil 5 minutes ago. The tone of our conversation is about to change completely. He's been holding out on me. I didn't know this.
Yes, he's a great judge. And they actually get
I could be a great judge.
you should reach out to Kelly.
I'm going to reach out. I'm going to slap Neil McCoy.
I don't think I wouldn't be a good judge. I fall in love with them too.
I know
easy.
you do. We're going to get to that
Fall in
point of
love way too
conversation in a
easy.
little while, too.
gosh.
But they're brutal. And the trainer that's on there,
Jay.
he's a beast.
He was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
I started training under Jay when I was trying out.
Yeah.
Probably about 6 months before I started auditioning, and he's a master sergeant, retired from the U.S. Army, and treated the girls like that in a respectful way. But
I get
he's
the impression that he really loves the team, that he loves the girls.
he loves the
Yeah.
team, and for him, that's why they have this panel of judges that see different aspects of what makes the perfect Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Because for some judges, it's not a girl who has, for some, smoking hot is, just an athletic, straight body. Some of those judges love curves, and they want to take a little bit of everything because you realize there's 100,000 fans, not, in the stadium, millions watching on,
They all have a different
everybody
opinion
has a
on-
different opinion of beautiful.
That's why they pick their favorites.
That's right. And so
I don't have a favorite, Jade. You're my favorite. If we can get you in an outfit, we can get you in one of those.
I got a favorite.
auditions are coming up. So Jade,
Oh no, y'all don't want
you
me.
said you're working out.
I didn't comment earlier, but you were talking about your career. You had everything in order, and this is something you really wanted to accomplish. And then you were talking about how smart these cheerleaders and stuff were. And before you got here, I forgot who asked me if I had ever wanted to be a cheerleader, and I did not want to, but I was an athlete. I was an athlete, and I was telling them, I didn't know a lot about cheerleading or anything, but I started to realize real quick they could kick some ass. I mean, they were very athletic, and then they started playing basketball and volleyball with me, and I was like, oh my God, they're so good. And they were very smart. The ones I'm thinking of, Valerie, Sarah, I don't know if they listen to the show, but I think they probably do. They were very, very smart. I know they were smarter than I was, but they were also more athletic. I was always impressed with them.
They're on their A game, and that's what Jay Johnson, the trainer. I mean, he kind of demands it,
Yeah.
And that uniform isn't forgiving,
You told a funny story because we were out in, where were we? And you were telling the story about how she always said you had the biggest hips, and they were like, had to get the uniform.
Oh yes, no, it was. So I was.
I've never looked, by the way. Her husband's on set.
Yes, my husband.
I have no idea what her hips look like.
Thankfully, he loves curves. So even when I was trying out, I mean, in my leanest and just fit, I'm like a Mapsco. I got a lot of curves. There's a lot there. There's
Take
a lot
heart,
there.
ladies. You too.
It is okay to have hips. And
Yes.
I just remember one day, and
Mapsco.
it was in the middle of my second year of trying out. My first year I got cut. I was the last one cut the day before squad.
Oh, that's
It
heartbreaking.
was tough. Yes. So, I had the uniform fitted. It was all for me, and they're like, we've put a team together and you're not on it. So that was tough, and to have it air on national television, but it gave me more focus. I knew why they cut me.
Did you cry?
A lot.
Yeah.
It was an ugly cry.
On TV?
Oh, I said I was going to go eat 3 cheeseburgers.
Stuff was going everywhere.
It was not good.
You're
It
like
was
Freddy
not pretty.
Krueger.
It's somewhere out there on CMT's website. It is.
Can we get a cut of that, Mark, so we can add to the show?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
there.
thank you.
And I'm going to go eat 3 cheeseburgers or something. I don't remember. But I came back ready to compete, and I'm back in there, and anything, and Kelly will do that same look that Bougie gave, where when she's looking at you, she'll go,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know. She could be thinking about what she's having for dinner, or she's looking at your figure going, I don't know. Or
I hate people like that.
you cannot read her. And so it makes her brilliant at what she does. But one day I was there, and one of the gals called me over. Her name's Shelly Bramhall. I love her. She's like, hey, listen, I'm putting one of our outfits together, and I need to get your hip measurements because you have the widest hips on the squad.
Hey, there you go for body image. What are you going to do?
Well, they still thought it was okay in the uniform, so
Yeah.
it worked out. But I love how much they embrace different body types because I was in my 30s.
Talk about that a little bit, because I think that's a misconception.
It is.
You think that it's just 100. These are not
all-
not Madison Avenue models that are
No.
6'4" and straight, no curves and things like that.
Going back to what Jade said, they're athletes. So they're not, it's not about being skinny at all. It's about being fit and fitting in the uniform. And some gals, it was never weight. Now you do weigh in before a game. At least I did when I was there. But
No
that
pressure.
was it's just it's your own measure to almost put yourself in check. If they, and if I had a gal that I cheered with, she gained 10 pounds. They never said anything to her because you couldn't tell. Everybody gains and loses weight differently and carries it differently. And if they can't tell in the uniform, then that's not a big deal. So it was never about a girl being too skinny. I was happy when on the show, they featured the fact that sometimes they ask the girls to gain, or to get to a healthier state, not to lose too much. Because again, it's not about being skinny at all. It's about being a healthy athlete, because you've got to endure a 4-hour football game.
Yeah, and you're moving
Constantly.
You're getting after it. And so do all of the cheerleaders travel on the away games too, or do they just have a travel team?
They have an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they have a show group. They have an all-star group as well. But there's a show group that you audition for, and that group is the one that is kind of the elite of the elite, and they're really strong dancers, speakers,
They can do flips and
singers.
stuff. It's like a Chinese acrobat.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of girls on the squad that come from kind of competitive cheer sometimes, and they're just
Cirque du Soleil
amazing.
kind of thing.
Yes.
I hate them too.
But these gals actually give up. The entire team sacrifices time. I mean, if your best friend's getting married and there's a game, you
Yeah,
wish
it's
your
like
best
being in
friend.
Roger Krager's band. Your daughter's getting married. Sorry, we got a show.
That's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Yeah, so it's it's demanding of their time, but they you go over there on this USO tour, and you give to the military who are over there sacrificing.
Yeah,
and it means so much to those ladies to do that. As much as they miss spending Christmas with their family, they wouldn't want to be anywhere else because they know that these guys and gals are missing their family as well. So if they can bring a little bit of home overseas, that's what it's all about. And I think that's why Neil fell in love with him as well, because it was such a good fit that they could bring a little bit.
Neil McCoy.
I'm trying, Neil.
Neil
I'll text you
McCoy.
later.
There's no redeeming this fool. There is no bringing him back. No, he's
You
dead
know
to
what?
me.
They just. it almost makes me. I've never got to do the show group because I barely made the squad in the first place. But
I love an underachiever that achieves. Come on,
Thank
fist
you.
bump it
I
right
did
there.
it.
Simpatico.
Stuck the
They call me
landing.
Mr. 85 right there.
I think they were
That's
probably
so long
like,
as I'm
if you
passing.
just promise not to try out again, we'll let you on 1 year. Probably just go away.
That's funny.
But for those ladies that got to do that, it was life changing for them.
Yeah. I can only imagine. And I hate the fact that my brain always wants to politicize culture, but my brain politicizes culture.
Okay.
And I look at this and I'm like, because you brought up an excellent point. These girls, okay, so you weigh in before a game, and I know that there will be people out there who, you throw that out, a video clip on Twitter somewhere, and somebody's going to start bitching and complaining about it. Say, oh, how dare they. Look, it's okay to be masculine. It's okay to be feminine. It's your job to do what they do. They're cheerleaders. There's a certain appearance. There's a certain athletic ability. Not just anybody can go out there and do that athletically, and not just anybody can go out there and do that in terms of appearance. And there's something to be said about that. There's no shame in doing your job and doing it correctly, and them having a demand on how it should be.
It's actually also something I accepted
Yeah.
when I took the job.
Yeah.
I knew that going in. That wasn't a secret. And it was almost my own personal, I had to watch myself, keep myself in check. Accountability was there.
Yeah.
But absolutely, when you try out, that's a part of it, that you have to be fit and look fit in the uniform.
Yeah,
And that was
God
something
bless
I
you,
was
girls.
accepted. I mean, I'm not trying out anymore.
That's like bougie. Like, this is the part of the show where I get myself in trouble. It's like that big girl on Pitch Perfect. Like, she can't try out. But just everybody can't sing like her either.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So everybody has their merits. Everybody has their flaws. And I'm not saying being overweight necessarily is a flaw. As it is,
You do you.
It can be. See, I used to have a license plate that was 6 letters. It said I be I, you be you. And that's what it was. And so, and I believe that. I always, we travel around and I have people who work with me that are comedians and they open for me and things. And they're like, what do you want us to do? And I said, I want you to go be yourself. And I'll get the complaints. People, I didn't like that guy or whatever. And they might love them. But hey, you be you. I can't tell you what to be. So that's the deal. So how hard how much of that on the show is shall I say scripted or set up, and we're going to do this scenario today, or are you just raw watching how this thing goes down?
That's a real show.
It's a real show.
And I wish it could actually show more than it does, because internally what these ladies, I did it, I tried out at 31, 32, 33. Okay? That's how
Ancient.
old I was. Yes, for them. Yes, I remember somebody would comment on there, it's like, oh, I bet she's got her Centrum Silver in her locker. It was awesome. It was awesome. I heard it all. I was like, I do.
Bitches got Botox.
I was like, look, I do. So don't judge. That's exactly what I got in my locker.
I got something on my face. What's up?
And I got a little Bengay after that neck, that hairography gets you. So whatever.
I chipped a nail in a pillow fight and it pissed me off.
I don't remember what I was saying.
You were talking about trying out at 30, the show being real.
So the 18-year-old, thank you. The 18-year-olds that come in and they audition, I couldn't imagine, because it was a mind trip for me.
Do you think it gave you an advantage having a little more maturity?
I don't know. Well, maybe. Even that though, in my head, I was in it too much. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine being 18. But they handle it. They're ready to go. Some of them just they're built for it, But on the other hand, and I'm blessed enough to be able to work on the reality show now. They actually brought me in, and I'm a producer for the show. Hopefully, they're going to have me back again this year. But CMT said, we want to do this. We want you to do this because you have a background in media, but also what they're going through. You know what it felt like to be cut, and you know what it felt like to make it. So you already have an automatic relationship with them that maybe we don't have, from a production standpoint.
Are you capable of giving the resting bitch face so that they don't know what you're thinking, where you're just like...
I do a lot of this.
I can't believe this trick just really did that. This girl needs to go to the house.
I hurt for them. I really do, because I know what it feels like. I really hurt for them. But you know what? The director and the choreographer do. They don't want to shatter anybody's dreams, but you have to
Yeah.
remember while those are being shattered, other ones are being made. And that's what it's all about. That's America.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets a trophy.
Bougie just had an amen corner moment over there. Bougie just went, he's like, I can't believe.
Take me to church.
Preaching.
Take me to
And
church.
all God's
her.
people said.
And he doesn't go to church.
I don't do
Even if you
church.
said, let's take you to church, he wouldn't go.
Don't
Bougie
make me
don't
start
love
charging
Jesus.
hell with a water pistol.
Look
Get
at him.
you all
He's Jamaican.
Jesus
He's Rastafarian.
up.
He's high right now. Look at Bougie. Look at him. His eyes are bloodshot.
Yeah, they are. From lack of sleep.
So seriously though, I love that because you're right, and that's a great point. Life's not fair.
No.
There's nothing fair about any of it. Some people make the team, some people get cut. I hate this thing in athletics these days. Anybody that's watched or listened to me long enough, they know I hate the whole participation trophy culture, and I won't get into that. But this whole everybody makes the team. You know, when I played ball, and I played all the way up through some real high levels of baseball, they ran your ass off. I mean, they ran you until basically you quit. It was a
How many times you throw up?
It was a
Seriously.
Navy SEAL type mentality of you'll just quit. We don't have to
Right.
cut you because you'll quit.
Right.
And so I played on those teams, and that's the thing. And these days, everybody's just, what do we have? We have kids that don't push themselves. We have kids that are overweight. We have kids that are, I'm not saying that in a mean way. It's just a fact. It's a fact. Where were we? We were I won't say what town we were in, but we went out to a bar after a show, and it was college night. Come on, wait a second now.
I'll say it.
This is the second part of the show
It
where I
was
get
Wichita
myself in trouble.
Falls. We'll say it.
Okay, go ahead and call them out, Wichita Falls.
There were some big women.
It's the steroids in the chicken, Bougie.
It was something. And they were line dancing.
It's not their fault.
They were line dancing and doing some stuff
They
that they
weren't even
shouldn't be
really
doing.
line dancing. They were just kind of swaying back and forth. And
Well, and I didn't get these hips from not eating that chicken, so I get it. I like food.
it's the steroids in the chicken. It's not those girls' fault. They're not lazy. They're active, and we all know that I'm telling the truth. But no, I think kids used to play in the street, and now they go out and it looks like they got so many pads on. It looks like they're about to defuse a nuclear device. It's crazy. These kids look like they're in the, Anyway, I love for people to be pushed and challenged, and that's what they do, and you see that, and I appreciate that. And Jay, I mean, like I said, here's a guy who's a master sergeant who he's pushing hard, but I can tell he loves these girls.
He
loves
does.
them. He wants them to succeed.
Yeah. I actually always, like on American Idol, I always love Simon.
Yeah, sure.
I loved his truth, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that. My husband and I, we have 3 children, and we're raising them to know not everybody's going to like you. You're not always going to win. As a matter of fact, you're going to lose, and sometimes come in dead last.
Yeah.
And you're not always going to get a trophy, and suck it up, because that's life.
Yeah.
Because when you get out there in real life, it is what it is. And if you didn't win, then work on it, get better.
I love one of our staff writers here at the Blaze, Jessica. She posts it's tagged right there on the front of her Facebook page. It says, "I used to be an athlete till I realized you could buy trophies."
Yes.
It's so true. I mean, if you're just in it for the trophy, then you're not in it for the right reason.
I want to go back to cheerleaders because I just thought about something when I looked at
I do
Steve.
too.
But
You look at Steve.
Tell
I
me
looked
about
at
it.
Steve, and I met Steve in Vegas.
Party foul?
Yeah, we met in
That's
Vegas.
that is something that no woman has ever admitted in public. I met Steve in Vegas.
Yes.
In Vegas.
And he found out from my friend Ashley that I was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and he goes, "You're a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?" I was like, "Yeah." Barely made the squad. Made it. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, do you know Brooke Sorensen?" And I'm like, "What about me?" And he's like, I think he might be her stalker.
He is.
Definitely her
right?
stalker.
Let's get into this.
Definitely. Hey,
Let's get into this because look what Party Foul brought to the set today. Which I swear to
knew
God,
it.
he's got Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
You brought the blonde.
I brought the. This
You
is
brought
this
the
is
blonde.
this is
In his mind, that's Brooke.
this is Brooke.
Y'all need to put a picture of
This
Brooke
is-
Sorensen up. She's and
I know.
you need to know she's
Are you in that
married
picture
to
right
a
there?
baseball
Flip it
player.
back around,
I know
Steve.
she's married. I know all about her.
Flip it back around.
Lives in
He's like,
Florida.
she tore her ACL.
She owns a
at
nice
19.
little boutique. Is how you say it? Boutique.
Wow.
Clothing.
Have you been to it?
I know all about. I hadn't been to it yet.
Well, how do you know how nice it is then?
I've seen it. I follow her on Instagram.
He said,
Flip, no. Bring the box back,
taps
Steve.
into the
Hold
security.
Box. No. Sit down.
Oh.
Stay.
Oh wait.
Turn it around.
Oh yeah.
No, right there. I want to see that picture.
Okay.
Are you in that one, Natalie?
I am in that picture.
You're in that picture?
Hey, I'm not. I'm trying
That's
to.
not me.
I can't.
You know where Brooke is. Show them where Brooke is.
Oh, she's right here on
Bam.
the side.
Right there. I knew
That was
She was.
that was spot on.
She tore her ACL and they had
There
her
we go.
in a brace. They had to hide her strategically. So, I think I read
It's
that.
like you were in the room. He's absolutely right. She
This
had,
fool.
we were at it. We were at a
I
performance.
can't even with this dude.
You know what?
man.
We were promoting the show, and I think we were in L.A. all together, and we were performing. And in the show in L.A., she tore her ACL.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly right.
You
Hey,
You got the story right.
Exactly right.
I don't
Glad
want
you
to.
got that
I'm not
story
going to
right.
disappoint Natalie because I brought her
I
also.
brought the Natalie doll.
I brought the Natalie.
You know that doll. So they have a the blonde, the brunette, and the African American doll, but
I've got
she
a black one at home. I
okay.
can bring her.
I think that would be
I
the
don't know if I-
African American
oh.
one.
That one. But she represents the Latinas too. But I tell people they're like that.
This idiot.
She looks Hispanic, and I said, well, that's me with a lot of spray tan.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of spray
That's-
tan.
Hey, will you sign you for
That's
me?
funny, Natalie.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah,
gonna
here
go
we go.
up.
You got a Sharpie marker for her to
this
sign?
might-
I brought
That's
it.
great.
This might go.
I
for
got a black
That's
one.
7
great.
cents.
It's never
I
been
got-
open, so
If I sign it.
sign it on both
So-
sides, the front, the back.
You want the front and the back?
Sides.
Okay.
Were we, you were with us when we were with The Undertaker at dinner that night and he snatched my hat off my head?
Yes,
And he
I
signed
was-
The Undertaker 2019 right on the front of the hat. And I'm like, dude, you could have signed it somewhere a little more, like right on the front. Like right,
Looks like
I'm
a big
I'm
patch.
He
auctioning that
labeled you.
off. I know. I'm going to auction that. And I had to go home with it like that in
Well-
the airport and the whole deal. And I was like, people, if they looked at me funny, I was like, you see this guy right here? He'll kick your ass.
That's right.
That's The Undertaker.
He now owns me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm his.
Right.
We were at the cigar bar there at Caesar's Palace, and I said, Mark, I said, Taker, I'm going to punch you right in the face. And he goes, I better not find out about it. That dude's the best, man. Every now and then I'll see him, and I'll be like, I'm just
get
going
that
to
one to
pick
Brooke.
you up and throw you down. He's like, no, you're not. No, not at all.
Speaking of hat company, you know I lost my phone in Vegas.
No, you got your phone stolen in Vegas.
Like at the table.
She was busy talking to me.
We were
Her
no.
husband's 6'5". He's right there.
I called my husband
I'm
because
micing out
I was
running.
winning big. Remember, I was winning big.
Yeah, you were.
And I called him.
You were.
And
On
then-
my money, I think it was.
Yeah, I wasn't. Sorry, Jade. I was winning for you. I wasn't going to keep it.
I don't think there was any intention on your or Ashley's part to give that money back. I don't think. And
Okay,
I wasn't
that's actually
expecting
true.
anything in
That
return.
I was.
I know
gonna
we've paid for a lot of other people.
Yeah,
I have
Steve
to remind
Helms.
Chad all the time, babe. 5 kids. We
I
have
wouldn't-
5
you know what,
kids.
I
I don't feel sorry for anyone.
fair.
Hey, but I'm
I
in
did
Vegas
win.
pimping,
I
baby.
gave it back to him. Now I don't know what he did afterward because
He gave it to some
Yeah.
other girl, I'm sure.
right.
She
So-
was up big and she left the table, and so I just took her chips and slid them right back over to my pile.
And somebody stole the phone right in front, and they turned it off immediately. I couldn't track it, and
Smart.
Did I tell
It
you that
was-
story, Jade?
Yeah, you told
Yeah.
me.
it was
That was
not-
stressful. That was traumatic
very-
for everybody
well,
because
you
it's
know-
stressful. Somebody.
well, and
yeah.
I hate thieves.
It was
Yeah.
probably party foul trying to steal Brooke's phone number.
It was
Well,
probably bougie.
I think it was who somebody saw it actually happen.
Steve Helms.
Steve Helms.
Steve Helms said, I just saw, because you
someone
were looking
grab
for
it.
your phone, and we were all
Yeah.
looking around the thing. And it apparently, because you had, I guess you tucked it behind your back on the seat.
Because we can't. Well, you're not supposed to hold it at
Yeah.
the table.
And so I guess it had fallen off. And so we're all looking, and Steve said, you know what? About 5 minutes
They
ago, I saw
swiped it.
somebody come by and bend over and grab something. I thought they were picking trash up off the floor,
It was my phone.
and it was your phone.
And we called. I used Ashley's phone. Called my number. It went directly to voicemail. That's when you know it's gone because they, you know. So anyway, I went to replace it at AT&T in Southlake, and I'll talk to the wall if it'll listen because I had some downtime trying to get my money. And 2 guys came in. What my husband knows. And it was the owners of American Hat Company,
Yeah.
and they said, "Do you know Chad Prather?" And I was like, "He stole my phone." It was such a small world. So anyway,
They texted me, yeah.
I bet you they'll replace your hat.
Oh, no, trust me. They'll give me all the hats I want.
There you go.
Yeah, they give me all the hats I want. But I'm going to take that hat that Undertaker, because Undertaker doesn't sign much. He's enjoying his retirement, as he should. And he's got his ranch in Central Texas, beautiful place out there with his wife, Michelle. She wrestles under the name Mimi McCool. And so, yeah. Mimi McCool. They're the sweetest people. They enjoy, their daughter plays, high school volleyball. I mean, they're very involved with their kids. She coaches, and I think one of their daughters, they play flag football, which is like a league deal. And so he's being a dad. He's being a husband and a dad. But, so he doesn't go out and do these signings. And I had no idea that the WWE, it's like NASCAR. Like, I know there's fans,
Yes.
but damn, there's fans. I mean, these people will line up for a mile down the block to get in there to see these guys.
And you do something wrong, the fans will threaten
they'll cut you.
They will cut you.
He told me that he and a couple of other wrestlers, they were in Europe, and he said they couldn't walk by the window in their hotel. They had to get down on their hands and knees and crawl. Because people were out there and they could see through the window and there was no curtains to pull. And he said, so every now and then we would just pop our heads up and the crowds in the street would go,
Yes.
like that. He said we'd pop back down. It's like whack-a-mole with wrestlers,
Yep.
So, but anyway, I'm going to auction that hat off for charity. Somebody will buy that.
Oh, that's
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, somebody will buy that.
Well, so I only got my picture with him. And I think he kind of barely was like, all right. He probably
he
didn't
doesn't smile.
Well, I think that he cracked a little, but he's probably
doesn't
like, I don't
mind.
want to take another picture, but I
He doesn't
have to
mind.
take up on the opportunity. And I even went,
punch him in the face.
I tried to find a reason to be relevant, and I was there for SHOT Show with Ashley just for a few meetings, and I was having so much fun. And my husband and my brother-in-law are building a gun range.
I know. We're going to do that on another episode. We're going to talk all
Right,
about
and
that.
I try, and
guns?
that was my end with the Undertaker. I was like, we're building a gun range. You should come shoot. Do you like guns? He's at SHOT Show, so I figured he probably liked guns, and that was my end to try to sneak in and get a picture.
He and I are doing an event together in May in Savannah, Georgia, for Nine Line Apparel. And Nine Line called me the other day and said, if he comes up on the private jet, they said you can jump on the private jet with him. And I said, well, I'm Spinks Airport's a mile from my house in Burleson, Texas. If he could just land it there,
And then-
and they were like, you can't go down to Austin to get on a private jet with the Undertaker. And I said, well, he's in retirement. I'm still important. Like, this is still relevant right here. If you can't just pop it up and down, then what's the good in having a private jet? I mean,
That's right.
I need Uber jets to come pick me up. I ain't going down to Austin.
You should.
I am going down to Austin
Totally.
this week. I'm in the new Granger Smith video. We're down there.
Are you
finishing
really?
that deal up, yeah.
Man, I need to be your friend.
I'm special. I am
Sort
special. I got
of.
Bougie Sean. I'm so diverse.
Yes, you bring the diversity.
I have a
Points to the
studio
one
full
black
of
guy in the
people
room.
and
You
then
have,
the Bougie Sean.
You have someone who owns the African American Barbie doll.
She's the only one at the house that doesn't still have the uniform
And the
on.
black
He
one.
stripped her down. He wanted to make sure she
you're
was
very-
anatomically
Oh,
correct.
man, this is
Very
insane.
diverse.
He even took his Sharpie marker and gave that one a tramp stamp.
Oh gosh.
You're nasty.
Yeah, party foul. There's a reason we call him party foul. You've learned this firsthand. God,
Yes.
Natalie. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about and we'll finish up. I want to talk about two things. One, this culture. Like, we were in Seattle. We just flew in the other day and got home the other day from Seattle. And at the hotel we were staying at, they were having this dance convention. We were in D.C. A couple days before that, they were having a dance convention. And so here you come, and everything from the beauty pageant to the competitive cheerleaders. I got a lot of friends that have daughters in competitive cheerleaders to these dance things. And I'm like, these girls are made up. They got to be wearing 3 pounds of makeup on these faces. I mean, it's crazy. What do you think about all of that? I mean, the culture of it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is there a healthy way? Is there a balance, or is it out of balance? What do you think? Because I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't know.
That's a great question. We have a daughter that is in competitive cheer right now, and there's a lot of hair,
There's a lot of hair.
spray,
Yeah.
makeup, and uniforms.
Looks like little gypsy kids coming out.
Well, and I think
Hide your purse.
I think
True.
I know that the gym that we are a part of in South Lake at Champion Cheer, they promote an athletic look.
Yeah.
So they do put a little makeup on, because as well as I do, when you're on stage and you're far away,
It's different.
It is a little bit different, but there is too far.
I am wearing makeup right now. by
You look
the way.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It didn't
Beautiful.
help a lot, but whatever.
Beautiful. I think there is a level that goes too far. And again, I'll take it back to the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They don't look like clowns.
Right.
There is a little heavier. I have heavy makeup on.
All American
obviously-
girls.
But there is a natural side to it. As a matter of fact, there wasn't any red lipstick. There wasn't. It's a very natural makeup.
Not till Friday night when them girls went to Deep Ellum. whatever.
You're gonna have a good time.
We go down to Greenville Avenue, you know what I'm talking about? Put on a little matte flat right there.
Get your Mac makeup on.
Get them nails all black. Got to get it off by Sunday because we got to be at the Jerry World. This is true. You know, I'm
very
telling
natural.
the truth. Girl, don't double dip my gel. I got to get this stuff off for Sunday. I got a game. Tell me I ain't telling the truth.
I don't know.
Girls got
I
them
mean,
big old long pointy fingernails like this. Jerry ain't gonna like this at all.
no, that is not true. It is never that way. They are all very natural all the time.
They are all the time.
They're
They just
beautiful
wake up.
girls.
They wake up in the morning and it's like a Tarzan movie. Just throw the wavy locks back.
They do the
the
signature DCC head throw.
They come out of the pool with the throwing the hair back. And this is an arc of water. I'm a little turned on right now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little happy. Bougie?
I'm happy.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Wait. I want to land the plane on that real quick.
Yep.
So putting it from a female perspective, making the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for me would be like you becoming a Dallas Cowboy. Not very many people ever achieve that.
Right.
It's a very small percentage. So in that world of competitive dance and competitive cheer, I'm definitely okay with it. I love that elite athlete.
I like that too. And that goes back to the earlier point we were making about pushing kids. I think the only thing that bothers me is when I see parents living vicariously through their children.
Yes.
Like, I didn't accomplish it, so I'm going to pressure them and push them as hard as I can to, because that's not healthy.
So you're absolutely right. What I learned, because this is Maddox's third year on a squad, on a team. It took me 2 years, but what I learned was you drop the girls off and you leave.
That's a good idea, yeah.
You don't, because there is...
Let the coaches coach.
It's a coach. It's not my job. I mean, it's my job if the coach asks me to talk to her, but I pay them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And my husband loves it a lot. He hates that cheer. He likes it, but it's demanding. But I let the coaches coach, and there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, especially the moms.
Yeah.
And the less I know, the better.
Yeah.
Because you can get sucked into that. There are reality shows about it. Dance moms. That's real. You can get sucked into that life, and I can't do it. So I drop Maddox off, and then I'll leave. Yeah. And ignorance is bliss. And then on competition day, I get to go watch and see her ability shine.
Yeah. It's exciting. As a father who has a daughter who is on a dance scholarship to a university.
Yours is?
Yeah. In a state to be named later. I don't tell where my kids are.
Okay.
Publicly. But I'm always amazed at when I see where she has grown to.
Right.
And it's like, who is this kid? I remember when you were 3 and you were in the little tutu and you girls just walked around to Swan Lake and you were a tree and then you were a bush and then you were a frog and and then you graduated up to actual princess and you were, and now here's this girl who's, she's 5'11", 5'5" of that is legs. And, she's just incredible. And you see these things and you're like, where did this
goes
kid
fast.
come from? So good thing you're happily married, Natalie. You're a beautiful woman. I'm telling you, and I will tell your husband off camera here. Listen, I spent a couple days watching this. I was like a hawk watching this girl. I mean, I was like a chaperone in Vegas. Like, girl, she's happily married.
I am.
So is Chad.
So
that's
now,
right.
Let's define happily.
Yes, he is.
I'm telling him that he is. So
Tell us how happy I am, Jade.
He's not only happy, he's just...
I'm like a pig in a blanket.
That was a mic drop right there.
He's extremely blessed.
You know what? Jade, just so you know, when I did hang out with him before he stole my phone, I learned a lot about you from him. He talks about you a lot when you're not there. But
Tell more. I don't think she gets it yet.
It's true. And
I'm trying to believe it, but
I haven't
and
recorded.
he'll tell you, I'm the one. I feel like with my husband, I married up because he just comes from an amazing family, and we met on Match.
I love that. He met on Tinder.
I met on Tinder.
Him and his wife. He got on Tinder and found a white girl.
Whoa.
Isn't that awesome?
It
Look at
was
that face of shock that Natalie just
Diversity.
had. She's like, holy.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Well, and so I just,
They had a baby.
That's what happens. Yes, we
They
had a
half
baby.
black baby. We had a little bougie baby.
I
not
like
black,
to
he's
think
Jamaican.
that when I would go on these match dates, which are, you remember those dates where you meet them? It's like, oh,
Oh, I've walked out on a few of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
not
It's
gonna
not. I'm
lie.
too
Did you
old.
see Sean climbing out the window?
I kind of feel sorry for you, Sean.
You know,
Sean had
I
to
did one. I
escape.
did one where I ate fried chicken. I went typical. I ate fried chicken.
Way to get stereotypical.
And
That's
I
racist.
started licking my fingers. I went really awkward to make it really bad
You
date
did?
that would never happen
Man, I'm gonna
again.
take this thigh and put it down my pants. I think this later on.
He was like, you want
Maybe you like
It's
chicken
got
grease.
chemicals in it.
you want stuff to go? I was like, yeah, I'll take hers too. Can I get it in a bag?
No.
Oh, you gonna eat this? Give me the potatoes.
Well, Joseph and I went on our first date, and I like to think I was bringing something to the table, like
Yeah.
brag, or some things to brag about. But Joseph went to West Point, played football there, graduated, and served our country as a Black Hawk pilot. And so basically, I didn't bring anything to the table at that because I just think there's nothing more. I mean, his whole family, his father served, his brother served, and so I married up.
Yeah.
I really did. I have an amazing husband.
Well, you'll get to know your husband on
And then I won't
tomorrow's
like him anymore.
episode.
Oh, right. Oh,
of
I
the
thought you
chat.
meant
They're
later.
gonna get to know. They're gonna get to know because we're gonna have them on. And so on tomorrow's episode, you'll get to see this amazing unicorn of a man.
Yes.
The glitter in his farts.
Okay, that's not true.
Effervescent.
He doesn't fart.
Effervescent.
Oh,
But
no.
you know what? There's a point to be made in that because you guys are two beautiful, successful human beings, and you met each other online.
We did.
There's hope.
We did. I had some people that were fans of the show from when I was on it. They're like, hey, somebody's on Match pretending they're you. And I'm like, it's me.
No, it's me.
That is me. That's me.
the story of my life. I'm on
is
Plenty
me.
of Fish everywhere. I'm on Grindr. I'm on Jacked. I'm on.
I'm on Grindr.
You on Grindr?
Yeah, options.
That's how you and I met, Bougie. No, seriously, I'm on all
Stolen
the
my
gay
picture and put me
sites. I'm on
online.
Plenty of Fish, Tinder.
I will. Well, go ahead. I mean, everybody, like, I get messages all the time. Hey, did you know that your husband's going by a different name on Plenty of Fish? Oh. All the time, I'm getting all these messages, and I'm like, babe, just use your real name.
He's happily married. He's happily married.
And I'm like, what are these guys gonna do when they do get a date?
I'll do it, Jade.
He's
No,
like,
no, no,
I don't know,
I'll
unless
pose
it's
as
They're
Jade.
scamming for money or scamming for naked pictures.
So it is you. And you are
Man can
everywhere.
dream. Winning.
Well played.
Natalie, I'm happy to call you my friend. I'm thankful for you coming on here. I'm proud of you. You got a great story. It's a great story. You need to be in like motivational speaking and just really out there inspiring all these girls and guys to think straight because you do.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You and Ashley, y'all pushing anything? Y'all got any? What kind of things y'all got
Always.
in the works? Y'all got stuff going on. I know Ashley texted me the other day, and we're going to get Ashley on the show.
Well, and she's working closely with quite a few, but I know she's working closely with Jacob Schick.
yeah,
and
22 kill.
Yeah, I'm wearing my ring.
Yeah, you are.
Support our veterans is of the utmost importance to Ashley, and she knows much more than I do, but I love to be with her and kind of be her shadow and help out any way I can as well.
Well, I try to do everything I can to support the veteran community too, as well as the active duty military folks. And Ashley's educated me a lot.
Yes.
And I'm on boards with different organizations, and she's educated me a lot. And so we're going to get her on here as well as Jacob. Jacob's already agreed to do the podcast. We just haven't had a chance to sit down.
He
So,
was, busy shooting movies.
I know, just doing things like hanging out with Bradley Cooper.
No big
and
deal.
Stuff,
No big
what
deal.
else? Just me and Lady Gaga making out.
Yeah, right.
No, I was talking about me.
Oh, you? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Missed that episode.
I know. Well, yeah, we'll get Gaga on the show at some point in time.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Bougie, you got any parting words?
Go Cowboys.
No.
No. Follow Natalie on Instagram at Natalie Woods 22, right?
That's it.
22.
My favorite
And
number.
we're in Studio 22. There's a reason. See, look behind you on the door. Studio 22. We named
That's
it
my
Studio
favorite
22. It's my favorite number. That was my
it?
baseball number my entire life.
Oh,
all the way
okay.
through college and semi-pro baseball.
That's my favorite number. Emmett Smith.
Yeah, Emmett Smith. Probably my favorite
All-time
Cowboy.
leading rusher.
I don't know.
Just saying the Giants don't have that.
I was with, they don't have that. You know, Eli Manning, seriously, he's 12 years old. So we were with Jay Novacek last night. That dude's personality didn't come through customs. Bless his heart. I've known Jay for years. I've known Jay for years, and that's the only way you can ever get the personality out of Jay is to let him go out there and catch bids during an auction.
it.
He doesn't want to auction anything out. But he wants to go out there and he's like,
That's awesome.
I know Jay's a trip, dude, but he's not a trip. So there's that. He's a trip in that he's not a trip, but he's practically my neighbor.
Hey, are you excited about getting Witten back?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say, wouldn't it be cool like if the rest of us could live our life like Jason Witten, just quit a job and then be like, I think I want it back.
Well, I'm excited because when he retired, I couldn't say that any of the players were there when I cheered.
Yeah.
Now I can.
Well, look at you. Now I will say that I think.
Do that again.
What
Mark,
the
get the
hell
ISO.
is wrong with you?
Do it again.
Look at this. No other program.
Whoa.
No other program brings you
Jade,
this.
don't throw it, Jade. Yes.
Jade-
Oh, Steve. Get
Party
it,
foul.
Steve. Do
Don't-
it.
oh, don't-
Steve, the other way.
don't do it.
You got to go away from the part. Away
Oh.
from the part, Steve.
Oh, boy. Is he having a seizure?
in.
Like, Party Foul looks like he's dying over
Go,
there.
Jason Witten.
Jade, save him. Save him, Jade.
Pull him out. Get the hook. Get the hook.
I'll stop.
No, I felt like Jason retired. He pulled a Romo. He retired. Well, I'm not saying that Romo retired too early, but he needed to retire.
He had to retire.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got jokes.
Romo will break a collarbone in the announcer's booth. You mark my
He will.
words. It will happen.
He's all in.
He is Mr. Glass.
All in.
He's all
you know
in.
what? He's amazing as a broadcaster. I'm not going to lie.
Jason Witten was not.
Jason Witten was pretty bad at
Horrible.
broadcasting. But Romo was great. I'm not going to lie. I hate
Romo's
the
good.
Cowboys, but Romo's really good at broadcasting.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
so,
it.
I was excited. What I fear is Jason's going to come back and like tear an ACL first game out of the deal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's all this
worth it.
hoopla. I mean, we need him. We need him.
It's the NFL.
They need a better tight end. They got to do better on the tight end side of things. But no, I'm excited about it. I'm a Cowboys fan. What am I going to do? And yes, Dez caught it. Dez
He did
caught
catch it.
I don't give a what anybody says. Dez caught it. They can talk about
Wait, what
anything.
year
I
is
still
this?
say that.
What year are we talking about? Yeah.
I know.
Shut up.
It's whatever.
Let's not go down the sports route. Let's just
know.
keep it political.
Shut up, Boosh.
Details.
Oh yeah, yeah. Used to be don't talk about sport or don't talk about religion and politics. Now it's don't talk about sports.
Let's not talk about sports right now.
Sensitive.
Yeah. So anyway, you can't find another podcast that has a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader hair flip right there, but the Chad Prather show's got it. And I want to encourage everybody, even if you're watching this, go to where podcasts are downloaded and download it, subscribe, because that gives us the numbers. Go over to YouTube. You can watch the full episodes on YouTube. Facebook, it's okay. You people watch it for 10 seconds and then delete off. They probably watch this entire episode. They're like, oh, who's this chick? Oh, ooh.
It is Jade.
Mistake you for me.
Party foul, Jay. Do y'all have any
Another one
parting
with Jade.
words?
Did you see
Hey,
that?
I've got one. Can you get Brooke on here?
He'll go find a whole new doll for her to sign.
It feels
I've
good.
got
No,
hers.
he's got the
Hers.
blonde. We're good.
Oh,
I've got
that's
it.
right.
Feels real
I brought
good.
it just in case she just
Was it her
happened to
pocket?
be
In case I
tagging along
surprised
or
you.
something.
In case
Surprise.
I surprised you.
Steve, these are words
Thought
that,
we were
that have never
friends.
come out of my mouth regarding you, but you're cute. You're cute.
Yeah. You know what? Brooke will probably do it. She comes in town a lot.
She
so,
does.
you know.
Hey, I heard that Brooke made a sex tape. She just doesn't know it yet. Attaboy, Party Foul. Party Foul Productions presents. We gotta go. I love you guys. God, Natalie, thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.
much. You're awesome.
Love
thank you.
you.
God bless y'all. We love y'all, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.